Good morning, friends. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of the Emerald Coast. I am Reverend Ruth Van Lillian. My pronouns are she, her. A special welcome goes out to our first-time visitors, both in person and online. You are in the company of the curious, questioning, the hopeful. We are a band of faith explorers, each searching for meaning, none forcing our beliefs on others, and all learning from one another's discoveries. We were each a stranger once coming through that door. We are so glad you are here today. As we engage in the practice of celebrating what is worthy and sacred in our lives, I am with you in heart and in spirit. I will be here in person again soon, and as your part-time contract minister, I am available remotely for your pastoral needs. We are now in a season of anticipation. Christmas tells the story of a homeless young couple anticipating the arrival of their firstborn. Pagans celebrate the sleeping earth and the promise of the returning light. Jews also celebrate the miracle of light amidst extreme challenges. May the many promises of the season ignite hope within our hearts and give us energy to help lighten burdens and live in peace with our neighbors. May our service this morning refresh and restore each of you.
Well, good morning. Welcome to everyone, including our visitors this morning. I'm Shar Farley, a member of this fellowship, and I'll be your service leader this morning. Please take a moment to review your order of service for upcoming events and other important announcements. I have two that are not in the order of service. First of all, you might have been wondering back here about these drapes that are on the front of the library. I think Rudolph is on there and some other holiday pictures. We are going to have today and the next two Sundays a chance to get your picture taken in your finery. And the only requirement is after the service is to come back there with your phone and someone will take your picture. I think Kathy or Bill will be around to do that. Also, after the service, as you know, we have some light refreshments at the back, and then at 11:15, we will pause for second hour, which for the adults means today you may go to one of three small discussion groups. The first one, as it tells you in your service, will be the Buddhistarians, and then we also have in the library UUs and Advent. And then in the Harmony Room today will be Free Thinkers Friendly, and our topic today will be how atheists celebrate Christmas. Should be interesting. Also, Molly, our new DRE, informs me this morning that they are still in need of nursery volunteers for December the 17th and December the 31st. So if you can help out, please see Holly. She'll be around here. And during second hour, if you're planning to come to your group, then make sure if you have children that you sign them up for their classes, second hour classes, with their teachers. And sign them out when you pick them up. So, I think we're ready now to have the prelude, which will lead us into our service. Lorelei, will you come up and help us light the chalice this morning? Advent means waiting, and the holiday season is nothing if not waiting. To get done the chores, to find the right gift, to find time for quiet moments, to accept that our loved ones will not be as we wish them to be. We will light the chalice this holiday season, this time of waiting, to remind ourselves to enjoy the moment, the now of our lives. Yes, much is coming, and always we wait. But things to come will also be now when they come. Let us now stand in body or in spirit and sing our first hymn in your gray hymnal, number 239, Go Tell It on the Mountain. We welcome everyone to this second Sunday of Advent. Christmas is a time of celebration, a time for rituals and traditions. For churches, a Christmas pageant that retells the story of Jesus and his remarkable birth is also its worships. Later today, we will, and our Amy, under the direction of Amy, our stage manager, we will have our own Christmas pageant, and we hope that everyone will want to participate. It is a no rehearsal pageant, so all you budding thespians out there are invited to come forth. This includes our visitors as well, and ages, all ages. In fact, I plan to reprise my role of Mary, a role that I've been doing for a number of years now, and it is truly a miracle. Now, at this time, you are invited to come forth and say your name and share a special joy, a concern, or a milestone with us. Please do not reveal any health issues of another person unless you have the permission from that person to do so. And I forgot to say one more thing. It should be obvious. This is an intergenerational service today, so the children are going to be here, and our story for all ages will be the pageant. Okay. And now we have some bit coming forth. Our prayer this morning is directed to God of life and beauty. It was written by Lucinda S. Doon. After the prayer, we will have a moment of silent meditation or prayer. We pray for the kindness of small acts, knowing that gentleness is fragile. We are grateful to know that thoughtfulness asks no sound, and that compassion leaves wonderfully beautiful traces when we open ourselves to wonder. May ours be a religion who, like snowflakes, goes everywhere in quietness, in love, and with gentle regard for that which is true and beautiful in us and about us. Amen. This morning, our plate collection will be shared with the United Universalist Service Committee, Unitarian Universalist Service Committee. These funds, along with those collected for guests at our table in December, the UU Service Committee is a nonprofit, non-sectarian organization advancing human rights together with an international community of grassroots partners and advocates. If you're paying your pledge this morning, please write a pledge on the memo line on your check. All undesignated checks and cash will be shared with our charity donations. Please be as generous as you are able. And now, will the greeters come forth to accept the donations? From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live.
We'll get the microphone adjusted. Say something.
Hello.
So, as was mentioned, this is a completely no rehearse pageant, and some of you have been here before, and some of you will know that it can get a little strange, so don't worry about it, just hang in there. Claire is going to tell the story, and I'm the stage manager, and I will just interrupt her periodically to get characters for the story, actors. And if you're selected to be an actor, which you can just like raise your hand. I know you. Don't worry, I know all about you. You go back to the table that's in the middle behind the pew there, and there are two dressers back there. Holly and Rachel will be back there to put your costume on you, and then you'll come up to the front, and you'll get minimal stage direction. If you have one of the 5 speaking parts, 5 or 6, I can't remember. Anyway, I will hand you a card and hold the microphone for you so you can say your part. So you do have to be able to read. Okay, so now we're going to start. In ancient times, when the solstice came, our ancestors sometimes told stories of a miraculous child born to return us to the light. Throughout the world, people tell stories of a child born to a royal family or to an important and rich family who would grow up to lead humankind into a time of truth and justice. In the Christian story, the miraculous child was not the son of a king, but was the son of a carpenter. He was not the son of a wealthy queen, but was the son of a poor woman. And that Christian story has been told and retold innumerable times since those early Christians first began telling it. We are going to tell the old story of the miraculous birth of Jesus this morning. We'll draw on 2 early Christian accounts of Jesus' birth from the books of Matthew and Luke. And drawing on our own universalist heritage, we are going to make this a story of hope for all people. This is an audience participation event. At various points in the story, I'm going to ask some of you would be willing to come up here with us and play the parts of some of the characters. Like I said, don't worry, there's only about 5 speaking parts, and you'll be given your part to read. When the narrator pauses, I will ask for volunteers. Some of the parts are previously assigned, but you don't know that, so just raise your hand if you want to be a part, if you want to be in the story, and I'll call on you, and then you go back to where the dressers are and get your costume. Okay, so is everybody ready? Okay, I'm turning over the podium to Claire, but I have to do this first, and I'll tell you when to start, okay? So, to start this story, I need someone to be Caesar Augustus and 2 soldiers to stand guard with him. Oh, I know. So dangerous to bring swords into a room and give them to small boys, but. So Caesar and guards. Are we having a problem with the laurel leaves? Okay. Okay. Caesar and guards, come up here and stand in the front. Hold it up like that, like he's got it, yeah. And this is your line that you have to say.
All the world should be registered so they can pay taxes to me.
Okay, now you guys can go sit over there.
Okay. In those days, long, long ago, a decree went out from Emperor Caesar Augustus, saying what he just said.
Okay, now I need, okay, Mary, where are you? Okay, go back and get outfitted, and I need someone to be Joseph. You gonna be Joseph? Okay, go ahead. Mary gets a donkey to ride. Okay, so Mary and Joseph, once you're dressed, you should walk up to the center stage here. Joseph, get your stick. Okay, here we go. Walk slowly. You're old. Well, I guess you're not that old. You have to, she's pregnant and she's riding a donkey, so you have to walk slow. So come up to the center in the middle. Oh, and this first night, this is a starlit night. So if somebody could just like cut some of the lights off. Just so it looks a little dark. There you go. So it's starlit night. Okay, so they've made it. Okay, now you can put the lights back on because they've made it. Okay, narrator.
All the people were required to go to the town where they had been born to register. For some people, that meant a long journey. Joseph, a carpenter, had to go all the way from the town of Nazareth in Galilee, point to rear of sanctuary. That's Galilee. Right there. Okay. To Judea, to Bethlehem, the city of David, he went with Mary, the woman he was planning to marry, because she was expecting a child. They started on their long journey, traveling by day, and sometimes even by night, their road only lit by stars. Joseph and Mary knew it was not going to be easy, what with Mary almost ready to have her baby. At least they had a donkey that Mary could ride on, and at least the twinkling stars made the road seem friendly.
Okay, so now they're in Bethlehem. So you can go on to the next part.
When Joseph and Mary got to Bethlehem, they discovered that there was no room at the inn, but the inn was the only place in town with comfortable beds. The only place Mary and Joseph could find place to take shelter was in a stable cut into the side of a hill. So they settled in to sleep there among the animals.
Okay, now we need several animals. You can be a big animal or a small animal. Just, 5 or 6 people. Just go back and get a little mask, whatever animal you want to be. Okay, we need animals. None of you kids want to be a little animal in the stable?
The frogs are really underrepresented.
Frogs are underrepresented.
Nobody knows about the frogs.
Okay, and the animals are going to sit around in the stable. You're just going to be animals and sit around the stable there. And you can quack or. Okay. Okay, we have a few animals, not your standard stable animals, but that's okay. Okay, go ahead.
The gentle animals welcomed Joseph and Mary into their stable, and that very night the time came for Mary to give birth. It was a stable, so when the baby was born, of course there was no cradle for Mary to lay her baby in.
Okay, get your baby, Mary.
But one of the cows was kind enough to lend her feeding trough for a cradle, and Joseph and Mary laid their new baby there among the hay in the feeding trough. I don't think there's a cow in that group right there.
That's okay. The cow is hiding behind the wall. The bear is the cow, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, now I need two people to be shepherds. Okay, and you're one of the shepherds.
What about a sheep?
There are some sheep back there. I think we have 3 sheep.
Man, don't you want to be a shepherd?
Yeah, you can be a shepherd.
You should be a shepherd.
You can be a shepherd. And we need 3 sheep. Or 2 sheep. How many sheep have we got? Okay, sheep, wait for your shepherd. Okay, get your shepherd thing. Okay, and the shepherds lead your sheep down this aisle. Shepherds and sheep. We need a couple more sheep.
Sheep. Anybody else want to be a sheep?
Okay, shepherds, gather your sheep and come on down the aisle towards me. And while they're walking, if you stop about halfway down, I need somebody to be the angel Gabriel. Oh, you want to be the angel Gabriel? Okay, you got a costume. Go back there and get your costume. You may have to take your hat off. Angels don't wear hats, honey. I don't know if we couldn't get her halo on if we did.
Yeah.
It's on a hairband. It won't. Things happen, you know. Okay. So Angel Gabriel, you come up this aisle up to the front. Be angelic. Angelic, sweetie. Okay. So now you're next in that region.
In that region, there were shepherds who lived for months at a time out in the fields, watching over their flocks of sheep by night. They had to watch over their sheep because there were wolves in the hills that would gladly eat a sheep if they could get one. On this night, as the shepherds stood watch in their fields, an angel of the Lord stood before them, and this angel was truly magnificent, and the glory of the God of the Israelites shone up around the shepherds. Not surprisingly, the shepherds were terrified, but the angel spoke gently, saying to them,
"Don't be afraid, for I have appeared to bring you good news of great joy for all people. To you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, who is the Messiah. This will be a sign to you. You will find a child wrapped in strips of clothes and lying in a cow's feeding trough."
Okay, so now, let's see, I think we need a couple more angels. Yeah, we need a couple more angels. Minor angels, not the, anybody else want to? You can just put the halo on if you want. You can carry your wings. I think some angels didn't actually have wings, if I'm not mistaken. But oh, Clarence. No, he did get his wings.
Finally. Yeah.
Yeah.
It started out.
Okay, so angels, you need to come up here and stand next to Gabriel. Okay, go ahead. Then the angel who had spoken.
Then the angel who had spoken went on to say,
Here, you say this to me.
Glory to God in the highest and on the earth. Let there be peace and goodwill among all people everywhere.
and there was a whole host of angels singing and praising God, and the shepherds were amazed. Upon hearing the message from their God and hearing the songs of the angel choir, the shepherds said to one another,
This is amazing. Let's go to Bethlehem and actually see the baby the first angel told us about.
Okay, so now I need someone to, oh no, that's right. So being good, go ahead, that's your line.
being good shepherds who cared about their sheep, they brought the sheep along.
Okay, go ahead.
So the shepherds went to Bethlehem with their sheep, and there they found Mary and Joseph and the new baby, just as the angel had told them. Afterwards, the shepherds would tell everyone what the angel had said to them about Mary and Joseph's new baby, and everyone who heard their story was amazed. As for Mary, she already knew her baby was wonderful, but she listened carefully to what the shepherds said and treasured all she heard in her heart. The shepherds and sheep gathered around the feeding trough, admiring the baby. They praised their God for this wonder of new birth, and they prayed and hoped that what the angel said would come true, that there would be peace on earth and goodwill for all people, even lowly shepherds.
Okay, so now I need 3 wise persons. Okay. See, everybody wants to be a wise person. Okay, Erica and Sandy. And we got another? Oh, and Evie. Okay. So there's 3 wise persons. Whoops. I made the crown a little bit too big for Evie. Okay, so once you get all the crowns to stay on, I kind of made them child size. So if you'll start walking up towards the thing, you're going to be King Herod. Okay, so you're walking slowly up. You should have come up the other side, but that's okay, because you got to stop and ask King Herod something. He's over there. Chief. It's in Chinese. Well, the wise persons came from the east, and they could have come from way far east. And you ask this.
Where is the child who has been born a king? For we observed his star in the skies, and we have come to praise him and bring him gifts made in China.
Okay. I need someone to go back there and grab the star and hold it up. The star has to appear. There it is.
Is the star made in China?
No, I made the star. Okay, go ahead and read that. After Jesus was born.
After Jesus was born in Bethlehem, 3 wise persons who were kings and queens from the far east came to Jerusalem. As these 3 wise persons journeyed long, slow journey to Bethlehem actually took them 12 days to get there, which is why we talk about the 12 days of Christmas. They noticed their way was lit by a large and bright star.
Okay, there's the star. It's very bright. Okay, so they've already asked King Herod, so that we kind of got out of order. You asked King Herod, right? Where is the child? Yes, they asked. Okay, you just point, King Herod, because you don't have to say anything. Okay, go ahead. Next page.
The three wise persons learned from King Herod about a prophecy which had been spoken long ago, that the Messiah would be born in Bethlehem. So the wise persons set out for Bethlehem, and as they walked, they saw ahead of them the star as they had first seen it in the far east. The wise persons followed the star until it stopped over the stable where the newborn child was laying in the cow's feeding trough. When the wise persons entered this stable and saw the new baby, they were overwhelmed with joy at this new life. They knelt down to worship him, and they opened their bags and brought out gifts of gold because the crowns of kings were made of gold, and frankincense and myrrh. Myrrh was what was put in the oil used to anoint kings.
So now we're done. Let us pause for a moment. We should have had her be the baby. And look at this scene. It is a special night with stars and angels and shepherds and wise persons and animals, and they are all admiring a special baby that has just been born. Why would all these people stand around for such a long time to admire a tiny new baby? There is only one reason I can think of. Because the birth of a child always brings hope for the future. And for a people who lived under oppressive Roman rule, all the while longing for liberation, the birth of a child must have been fraught with extra meaning. Will this be the child that leads us to freedom? Will this be the child who breaks our bonds of slavery and establishes a reign of peace and righteousness? So it is in our world today. In a world that sometimes seems hopeless, we still look with hope to the future. Every time a baby is born, we hope that this child will be one of the ones who leads us to a world of righteousness. And every time we tell this Christmas story, it reminds us that we must go out and work for liberation and justice. We, you and I, are the ones who are responsible for making sure the world is a better place for all the babies that are born. And you might want to stay there a minute, let us get a cast picture.
Can the narrator be in the picture too?
Yeah, just scoot over.
You need to get our narrator.
Okay. And then after we get a good picture, everybody go and put your costumes back on the table back there so we can put it all away after you take a bow.
Uh-huh. Oh, yes, the gifts. As soon as you return your costumes, would everybody take their seats so that we can sing our final hymn? That was great. Thank you to everyone who participated. I suspect some of you will be getting movie contracts very soon. All right, let's sing our hymn and get into the mood of Christmas with Deck the Halls with Boughs of Holly, number 235 in your gray hymnal, and the lyrics will also be on the screen behind me. The chalice is extinguished, but not our hope for the future, our courage in the face of crisis, or the love we share in all the world. And now our postlude will follow. Please be seated through the postlude. Thank you.